regret Pakistan's misuse of the Council for its ritual of breaking up malicious propaganda against India. India strongly rejects any attempt to revive the so-called motivated report of the OECHR that reflected individual malice and prejudice. That need to be addressed are Pakistan's illegal occupation of a part of the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir and the continued suffering of the people of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, who are victims of sectarian conflict, systemic army persecution, violence, terrorism, extreme economic hardships, discriminatory policies, and denial of even basic rights. Pakistan is known to the international community for its acts of aggressions, harboring safe havens for terrorists, military courts trying civilians, harassment of minorities through blasphemy law, forced conversions and marriages of minorities, suppression of political dissidents and legitimate criticism in Sindh, Baluchistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, mass cases of enforced disappearances in northwestern Pakistan, state-sponsored extreme prejudices, religious intolerance and attacks on Muslim minorities such as Shias, Ahmadiyas, Ismailiyas and Hazaras. Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India. Pakistan wrecked the UN resolutions by violating its own obligations to first vacate the territories under its control. Pakistan is reminded again that the principle of self-determination is applicable to colonial territories and cannot be misused as an instrument to erode territorial integrity and sovereignty of any member states. Pakistan's continued support to cross-border terrorism is the main challenge to protecting the human rights of our citizens in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. The confirmation of using UN-proscribed terror organizations, Jaish-e-Mohammed, as an instrument of state policy by Pakistani military and political leadership is already in public domain. Pakistan's former National Security Advisor Durrani, former Army Chief and President of Pakistan General Pervez Musharraf had already admitted Pakistani complicity in creating disturbances in the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. General Musharraf has admitted that the Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar carried out terror attacks in India on the instructions of the Inter-Services Intelligence of Pakistan. Its current foreign minister has reaffirmed the presence of Jaish-e-Mohammed chief in its soil. Pakistan's same democracy, rule of law and human rights have been witnessed by the international community. Pakistan would do well to introspect, to reform its so-called democratic institutions and eliminate the deep states. I thank you, Mr. President.
Firstly, Pakistan invaded Jammu and Kashmir in 1947. Since then, it has been an occupier, and now it's a broker, as it is negotiating the sale of Gilgit-Baltistan to Beijing. In collaboration with China, Pakistan's attempts to change the status of Gilgit-Baltistan have multiplied, as the region is vital for the construction of the illegal China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. The Pakistani Supreme Court, in its verdict of 17 January 2019, rightly acknowledged that Gilgit-Baltistan is a disputed territory and its status cannot be changed. However, the said disputed status of this integral part of Jammu and Kashmir, strangely enough, did not prevent the same Supreme Court from extending its own jurisdiction over the region. Mr. President, Pakistan has forcibly divided Jammu and Kashmir while it continues fomenting terrorism and keeps deceiving the world by manifesting itself as a self-styled protector of the rights of the people of Jammu and Kashmir for over 7 decades. We, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, fear that Pakistan's sheer cunningness and utter hypocrisy will keep prevailing at the expense of my and coming generations.
We are deeply concerned about systematic human rights violations in Pakistan, held Jammu Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. Pakistan has been using our land as launching pad to orchestrate terror and destruction in Jammu Kashmir and elsewhere in the region. We are very much concerned about growing menace of terrorism from Pakistan and its implications on regional and international peace. Mr. President, Pakistan has violated international law as well as United Nations resolutions and created an unfair consolidation in its peripheries.
The government of Pakistan is increasingly silencing dissent under the pretext of national security and anti-terror laws in peripheries. Enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killing and torture take place with impunity. Mr. President, I am a regular contributor at this August Council since 2010 and a human rights activist. Mr. President, Pakistani authorities have restricted my travel back home in so-called Azad Kashmir by blocking my passport, travel document, since 30th of October 2017.
State-sponsored cross-border terrorism victim of terrorism, and he will shed light on
who actually asking that we need a set as foreign policy and create against other religions or religious people. Demographically, they have more covered area, but in full state, they are alive and most which were actually. اب کشمیریوں کو یہ لائٹ ویپنز تر کر کے تو سوسائڈ کے ہتھیار کو استعمال کرنا چاہیے. اٹ واز اوپنلی پریچنگ بائی دا ریٹائرڈ جنرلز. تو سو وی آر اٹ از این الارمنگ سچویشن. وی آر دا پیپل ہو لو پیسفل اسٹرگلز, بلیو پیسفل کو ایگزسٹنس ہیں. اور اسٹیٹ از اے ملٹی ریلیجیس اینڈ ملٹی کلچرل اینڈ ملٹی ایتھنک. So we will not actually, it is the question of our survival. If Pakistan is continuously promoting extremism and terrorism, our state will divide it into 1,000 pieces on the basis of sects.
We have witnessed in the history for the last 71 years that there has been attacks and counterattacks, attacks and counterattacks, and the cycle continues. And with respect to the recent attack, the Pulwama attack, both the countries came closer to the brink of war, and the whole world was shivering that both powers are nuclear, and if anything goes wrong, it could be proving catastrophic for the whole world. And obviously, as the events unfolded on the very day of that incident in Pulwama, one of the organizations, Jaish-e-Mohammed, claimed the responsibility for this attack. And in 1 or 2 days afterwards, when the world response came in, they denied it.
Behind 9/11. Pakistan. Who behind 7/7? Pakistan.
بلوچستان کے جو بیسک ایشوز ہیں وہ اتنک ایشوز ہیں ہماری قومی آزادی کا، لیکن آج جو پروٹیسٹ ہو رہی ہے یہاں پہ، اور ہمارے کانفرنس کا جو مقصد تھا وہ بلوچستان کے ہیومن رائٹ ایشوز پہ تھا. کیونکہ بلوچستان میں آپ لوگوں کو پتہ ہے کہ ہزاروں لوگ اٹھا کے غائب کر دیے جاتے ہیں، گھروں کو بمبارڈمنٹ کی جاتی ہے. لیکن جو مین آج ایشو تھا وہ بلوچ جو مسنگ پرسنس کا تھا اسی پہ تھا. کیونکہ جو لوگ غائب کیے جا رہے ہیں، مسلسل ان کی لاشیں مل رہی ہیں یا وہ سالوں سے ایسے ہی غائب ہیں، ان کے بارے میں کوئی معلومات نہیں مل رہی ہمیں. اور آپ کو پتہ ہے کہ بلوچستان میں آج کوئٹہ میں جو کیمپ لگا ہوا ہے بلوچ مسنگ پرسنس کے لیے، وہ بھی کافی سالوں سے چل رہی ہے. وہاں سے بھی کسی جو فیملیز آتے ہیں، بچے بچیاں آتی ہیں، وہ بوڑھی عورتیں آتی ہیں، اپنے پروٹیسٹ کرتی ہیں اپنے لوگوں کے لیے جو مسنگ کیے گئے ہیں. ان کی بھی کوئی بات نہیں سن رہی ہے، اور ان لوگوں کو رہا کرنے کے بجائے یا ان کو کورٹ میں پیش کرنے کے بجائے ان کی لاشیں مل رہی ہیں، اور لوگ ریپلیس ہو رہے ہیں، چہرے بدل رہے ہیں، اور نئے کیسز آ رہے ہیں، نئی فیملیز آ رہی ہیں پروٹیسٹ کے لیے. اور کوئٹہ میں اتنی سردی ہوتی ہے جو مائنس تک پہنچتی ہے، اور جو سارے بچے اور بچیاں وہاں پہ بیٹھی ہوئی ہیں وہ بیمار ہو رہے ہیں، ان کی بات کوئی نہیں سن رہا. تو ہم یہ امید لگا کے آئے ہیں کہ ہم یونائٹڈ نیشن میں ہم کہیں پہ کسی ہیومن رائٹ آرگنائزیشن جو ذمہ دار ہیں ایسی چیزوں کو روکنے کا، ہم ان تک اپنی بات پہنچائیں، کم از کم وہ اس ایشو پہ بات کریں پاکستانی اتھارٹیز سے اور ان کو روکیں اور ان کو پریشر دیں کہ وہ ان سارے لوگوں کو منظر عام پہ لے کے آئیں.